Hello and welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I am JT. This is Black Box Trading, and we're going to catch up with what's going on in the markets. Bitcoin's still inside of its chop consolidation, but we are developing bullish structure. So we will go through that. We will go through what we're looking for the bull case, what we're looking for on the bear case, and all of that and more. Spam your tickers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If you want me to take a look at certain projects, I'm happy to do so. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Really helps the algorithm, helps us out, gets the message out. All right, let's jump in it and let's take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. All right, so we're here starting off on the daily charts, and you gotta zoom out. Let's actually look at this from a weekly perspective first, guys. It's a bull flag. I know people get all bent out of shape saying it's a bull flag because it's too high of a time frame for you to call it a bull flag, but I don't know what else to call it. We have an incredible rally from 15,700 all the way up to 73,800. And now we're consolidating. We're consolidating at the all-time high. It's been a long consolidation. Credit where credit is due. Let's make that blue. Let's make it a nicer blue. But it's a consolidation nonetheless. We had a huge rally as a result of the ETFs. We got an all-time high prior to the halving, which has never happened before. So we are kind of ahead of schedule. It is normal and expected that we are consolidating for the 7 months or 8 months that we've been consolidating for, currently sitting at about 210 days. So what is that? That's almost 8 months. That is 7 months. 7 months. Over 7 months. But yeah, it's a bullish consolidation. Is it volatile? Yes, but I'm not seeing anything that's really concerning for me in the respect that a lot of the market is afraid that this is the top, or they're afraid that we're going to go down to 40K, or they're afraid of this, they're afraid of that. I don't know. The market's just really exhausted, I would assume at this point, which, fair. If you're new to this thing, if you're new to Bitcoin, if this is your first cycle, or maybe you're from last cycle, but you joined in late in last cycle, you're probably not used to these multi-month accumulations. But these multi-month accumulations are the best thing you can have. Period. End of story. The longer we accumulate, the higher the price targets. And we'll get into some of those price targets based on the size of the accumulation later on in the show. So stick around for that. But, the market is digesting this price. It is the bulls and the bears fighting. We have the buyers buying from the sellers, and the accumulators accumulating and removing supply from the market for long-term storage. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, okay? It's much more bearish as we continue to rally. When price goes up, that's when it becomes bearish. That's when everybody's bullish. That's when everybody's excited. But the fundamentals of supply and demand shift in favor of the bears when price is rallying. It does not shift in favor of the bears when we are in a sideways chop consolidation like we are right now. Let's go down. Well, actually, let's just dissect this a little bit further here. We got above our target. We were looking to take out this high. And so now we have a confirmed higher high on this local trend. So to kind of break down trend analysis for people, you have a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That is a technical downtrend. But since this higher high, we have an opportunity to change the trend. And that's what we're trying to do right now. That's what we're working on in this move right here. You'll notice we have the middle of this consolidation. This is called the mean of the parallel channel. This is the median line of the parallel channel. We got one bounce off of the mean, and we could potentially be looking at another bounce off of the mean. That's also very bullish. So if we rally from this point, if we rally anywhere from the mean, or realistically, if we rally anything above this low, that's going to signify that we are in an uptrend. Now, not every uptrend is equal, okay? There are bearish uptrends and there are bullish uptrends. What we want to see is a bullish uptrend. So that would be something that looks like this, where it holds this newly establishing uptrend, this newly establishing parallel channel. Let's actually throw a parallel channel on there and go through the different scenarios. So let me grab a parallel channel. Let me go from this spring low. Let's bring that up to here and pull that up to here. So the more bullish scenario, I'm going to remove this line because we've taken out that high. We have a newly established uptrend. The more bullish scenario is for us to hold on the median line of the larger channel. We need to hold this line. That's the more bullish scenario. If we can hold that, get back above and break out above this downtrend of this channel, that is the most bullish scenario that we would be looking at currently. There are other scenarios as well. So we could come down and retest maybe the $56,000 level and establish a new low here at this fresh and not quite established channel. That would be kind of a less bullish scenario, meaning that, the accumulation probably has a few more weeks before we get some of these bullish confirmations. But it's still a bullish scenario because it would confirm a higher low on the higher time frames, showing that a newly established uptrend is developing. The least bearish, or the least bullish scenario, the most bearish scenario, would be a revisit down to the bottom of this channel. What that would indicate is basically you want to put your idea of this upwards channel on hold, and we would then be looking to hold this as support and kind of continue to meander inside of this parallel channel. Now, the thing to really pay attention to is this low right here in the context of this scenario playing out, which, for clarity's sake, I'm not expecting that. I'm actually bullish. Surprise, surprise. I'm expecting us to hold the median line here. So I'm looking for a reversal right here to the upside, confirming a higher low in the most bullish posture. But in the event that we come down to the lower end of this channel, what you want to look out for is us taking out this low. If we take out this low, now we have a continuation of the downtrend, which is the most bearish scenario. That's not what we want to see, and it would signify to me that we have probably the rest of October and maybe even till after elections before we get some sort of clarity on direction in the markets. Let's kind of mark that down with a line here. So we'd be looking at something like this. We want this level to hold. The $52,000 level needs to hold for us to be considering the newly developed structure to be bullish. Let's go down to the smaller time frames. Let's go down to the 4 hour, see what we can see there. And you can see a clearer picture of this median line here. We got nice bounce off of that. Let's take a look at the volume that came in. Not a ton of volume. So, the market is still lethargic as it stands right now. We'll see how things are comparing when we look at traditional finance with the S&P and the NASDAQ. But yeah, it's holding. It's holding. So did get some nice sell side action here, got an up thrust. The bulls were ready to give it a go, but the bears did in fact sell on that area right there. So I do want to see this area hold. And if we can hold here in reverse here, that would be ideal. Let's go down to the hourly and see what we can see there. Hourly's not giving us much. We are seeing a higher volume signature coming in here, showing that the bulls are showing up. But let's go down to the 15 minutes, see if we can see any sort of divergence or potential for a reversal. Let's turn volume off at this point. And we have a low and we have an equal low. And on the RSI, we have a low and a higher low. So there is a little bit of a divergence. If the RSI can break past the 50 line, that would probably at least give us the opportunity to re-challenge the lower end of this macro support slash resistance flip. This support slash resistance flip has been intact for the entirety of this consolidation. It goes back 7 months. It's a very important level. We did break below it. So if we're staying below it, we're bearish as far as that line is concerned. But I think this is a fake out, and we'll probably get a little bit of a bear trap, get some shorts in there, get some short liquidations to the upside, and reconfirm at higher levels and confirm our first higher low of this newly developed structure. All right. Let's talk price targets. Now, on occasion, we come from a Wyckoff background. On occasion, we will do point and figure charts. If you're new to the channel, you have probably not seen me do this before. You have probably also never seen this type of chart before. This is a point and figure chart. Where is it? Where did I put it? I need to turn it on. Is it here? No. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to turn on the point and figure chart. I need to change a few settings. Now, this is a really strange chart for a lot of people. They've probably never seen anything like this before. But I find it to be very powerful. Let me find the closest. I'm trying to get... All right, so 600 box size. So I'll just briefly, very briefly go over how the point and figure chart works and why it's different. Let me delete that. Why the point and figure chart is different is it does not take into account time. Time is not a part of a point and figure chart. On every other candlestick that you're looking at, for the most part, each candle represents a period of time. The 15-minute, the hourly, the 4-hour, the daily, they all represent a unit of time. Point and figure charts do not do that, and they only chart volatility, okay? So each one of these X's is a $600 move in Bitcoin. The box, I'm not going to break down the whole thing, but I'm just going to tell you, how it works. We picked 600 because we're in the $60,000 range. That's 1% of 60,000. Each one of these X's represents a $600 move in Bitcoin. Each one of these O's represents a $600 down move in Bitcoin. And the way it switches directions is with what's called a 3-box reversal, where 3 times the box size, which is 1,800. So every $1,800 move, you change from green to red. All right. Very, very basic intro. And I'm sure you have more questions than answers, and it's just confusing. But here's the important thing. Richard D. Wyckoff developed a strategy for you to determine realistic price targets based on counting out these columns. Okay. This is what I was saying at the earlier on in the show, where the longer we trade sideways and the more volatile that trading range is, the higher the price projections are going to be. A lot of people are talking about 100K Bitcoin. I'm over here talking about $120,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin, at the breakout. As soon as we start to break out and rally, we'll be up at those levels in a matter of weeks, not months, but we need the breakout first. So let's do just a rudimentary count right now, and I'll kind of show you how this works. Forgive me, this is going to be a little bit of a math and slow TA focused thing, but I do want to kind of drill this point home. We're going to take a measure from the buyer's climax to what we anticipate to be the breakout. So if we do reverse here and we break out, we'll take the measurement there, but keep in mind that these are just preliminary measurements, and the longer we trade sideways, these price projections actually go to higher levels. So let me just erase these. All right, so from the buyer's climax to where we anticipate the breakout to be, that is 78 columns, 78 of these X's and O's, okay? This is where we bust out the little calculator. And we're going to go calculator. We're going to go 78 times the box size, which is 600, times the reversal. We do a 3-box reversal, an $1,800 move. So we're going to times that by 3. That gives us 140,400. Let me mark that down. The value of this consolidation as it stands right now in the context of us breaking out to the upside from here, the value of this consolidation is $140,400. So right there, like 140 grand, okay? But here's how you apply it to the chart. This is where it gets fun and interesting. Okay. What we do is we take a info line and we go from the low of the consolidation, which is here, and then we add 140,400, as close as we can get to that. I need more. We need more. Oh, geez, I need more. All right, we'll call it that. There. Okay, so that's 140,400, give or take. Okay, then we take another measurement from the first higher low. That's what's known as the LPS. So we'll take another measurement from the LPS, and we'll do another 144. Okay. So this gives us a price target range, and this is kind of a short-term range in my opinion, of $192,000 to $194,000. So that's the built-up potential energy of this consolidation. This is why I said it's the best thing that you want. The longer we trade sideways, the higher those targets go. If you really want to see, $1 million Bitcoin, you want to see multiples of these consolidations, because the longer it builds a cause for the result of a higher level, the better. So don't be impatient. The longer you have to wait, the better. I know humans, human nature is to be very impatient and want results quickly. Of course, obviously you want to, reap the benefits of your financial decisions as soon as possible. But the silver lining to having to wait and be inside of these consolidations is the price targets only get better. They only get better. All right, let me just check and make sure. I'm live streaming well. Stream's bitrate is lower than recommended. All right. Chat's not really active right now. Stream is great. Okay. So yeah, this is incredible. It's incredible. Now, if we continue to add columns to this, we're only going to get higher levels, and then we're breaking 200,000. That's just for that consolidation. So now let's transition. Let's transition into what we're seeing in the traditional financial markets. So let's go back over here. Let's go to the weekly, and let's take a look at the S&P. Guys, I just can't. I just can't even. So this happens so often. There is a lot of fear in the markets. Everybody is afraid of war. Everybody is afraid of recession. Everybody is afraid of inflation. There is so much negativity out there. And then people bring that negativity into the financial markets and they try to rationalize and make, they try to reason through negativity and expecting that to be the result of price. Guys, I actively avoid the news. I actively avoid the news. I do not watch television. I filter anything on my Twitter that I don't like. I banned the word Trump, Kamala, Biden, fucking politics, everything. I banned the word war. I banned the word Middle East. I actively do everything I can to remove the noise from my life. And as a result, I'm extremely bullish. Why? Because all I need to know, the headlines are on the charts, okay? We are in a bull market. We are in a equity bull market. We are in a Bitcoin bull market. We are in a gold bull market. We are in a bull market. And I have no wavering conviction towards that whatsoever. Don't give a fuck what is going on fundamentally in the world. Most people are being tricked. It's almost as if you're being manipulated to believe one thing while the smart money who manipulates the market has an opportunity to buy. They put fear into the markets so that people sell. Every time somebody sells, there's a buyer. Who's the buyer? Smart money. What is smart money doing? Manipulating the media to force you to sell. And you're selling to them. And then what happens? They have the positions that they want. They flip the narrative inside of the media. Everybody FOMOs back in at higher prices. And now you're buying from them. Guys, it's a manipulated market out there. This is the way the composite operator works. So please just look at the truth. Look at the truth. The truth is we are in a bull market. If you don't believe that, if you are afraid of a market crash, wake the fuck up. Turn off the television. We're about to break an all-time high here in the NASDAQ as well. We're back to risk on, baby. We are back to risk on. One of the biggest fundamental drivers of that is the global liquidity cycle is beginning. We're having all of the central banks lower interest rates. When interest rates are lowered, the money is debased. As money is debased, asset prices need to be repriced for the new pool of money that is being compared to the prices of those assets. We're entering probably a 12 to 15 month period of increasing money supply. Or in another way of saying that, we have potentially 12 to 15 months of bull market ahead of us. I'm not saying groceries won't get more expensive. I'm not saying life's not going to get harder. And I'm not saying that there might not be a war. But I'm telling you that the equity markets and the trades and everything else is going to be in a fucking bull market, and a strong one. Let's take a look at the dollar. Then we'll take a look at gold. Dollar up at the median line here of this parallel channel. If we want to see results quickly, we do want to see a reversal at this point. Let's see what the daily is looking like. Dollar is having a rally, which is interesting because the S&P is having a rally, the Nasdaq's having a rally, gold's having a little bit of a pullback. Okay, but gold had a beautiful, beautiful few weeks here, and even the dollar is rallying. It's wild. It's wild. Maybe this is as a result of the comparative central banks printing more than what the US is printing. All right. So yeah, what we would like to see in the dollar, generally speaking, is we do want to see this break. So we haven't seen the full-on liquidity cycle on the U.S. side of things, but Bank of Japan, Bank of China, Bank of Bank of Britain, Bank of Canada, all of those banks have already started printing. It's only a matter of time for the devaluation of the dollar to happen as well. Maybe the dollar holds strong for a while other central banks print more. The U.S. is in a very strategic advantage globally because it is the reserve currency, so they can kind of sit on their hands a little bit. But when we go back to Bitcoin, let's take a look at the liquidity cycles here. Let's turn on global M2 and global money supply. Let's bring this up here. Let's turn RSI off for this one. All right, which one's which? There we go. All right, so this green chart kind of looks like a MACD. What it represents is just the ebbs and flows of money issuance, okay? So during periods where money issuance, currency debasement is taking place, those are the periods where Bitcoin is in a bull market. You can see currency debasement, Bitcoin in a bull market. Currency debasement is starting. It hasn't gotten to the really high bull market levels just yet. But we're about to accelerate that, in my opinion. When we look at the total supply, this line represents the total supply. Let's make that a brighter color. You can see that we just had a breakout. So we just broke out of a consolidation in total M2 money supply, all of the central banks printing money. It's breaking out. So the trend is going to continue. The last time, let's go through every time that we've had a breakout. So we had a breakout here. This breakout started the acceleration phase of Bitcoin in 2016, 2017. We had a breakout here. The breakout marked the acceleration phase of Bitcoin in 2020, 2021, and we just had a breakout here. So there's just, you got to look at the facts. Money's being printed. When money is printed, asset prices go up. I am not worried at all about the price of Bitcoin. Not in the slightest. Do we have any requests on alts? Otherwise, I'm just going to bash ETH. You don't want me to bash ETH, do you? I know it's one of my favorite pastimes. All right, let's get the chat up on the screen here. If you haven't already joined into the Discord, do it. It's free. And I don't mean free for a little while. I don't mean certain services are free and others aren't. I mean, it's actually free. It's 100% free. The only thing that you have to do is we are providing trade setups. We are providing bots. All that we ask is if you take one of our trade setups or you use one of our bots, that you use it on one of our partnered affiliate exchanges. That's the whole catch. I mean, you got to trade somewhere anyways, so you may as well just get all of these free services added to the fact that you're using a centralized exchange. So scan the QR code, get into the Discord, and get access to all of these free services that we are offering. All right, we got a... out of interest, where on the Discord do we find the discount for alphanumerics? You can go to the trading tools chat inside of the forums page, but the discount code is Blackbox. But there's a link in trading tools. All right. We got a request for Sui. Sui, I'm going to guess, because of how much I've heard about it, is probably not a good entry point. Yeah. So, okay, here's the thing. Here's how I approach things. Here's how I approach things that aren't Bitcoin. um, we do have a technical uptrend here, right? We do have some bearish divergence, but it's happening at a resistance, so that's expected. You just have to be honest with yourself what you think is appropriate for a position size. What is appropriate for a position size that carries a risk profile of knowing that whales are up 3%? It's not a ton. That's not a ton. I mean, you know, compared to Bitcoin, that's really not much. It's basically just on par with Bitcoin. In fact, let's take a look at SUI BTC to get a clearer picture. I encourage you guys, I know you think in dollars. I know you want the dollar number to go up. But the easiest way to ensure that you're actually going to get a higher dollar number is to pay attention to the Bitcoin charts. If it's not doing better than Bitcoin, it's not doing better than the dollar. Or actually, no, that's not true. It will be doing better than the dollar. It's just you're wasting your time because you could have just been in Bitcoin. But we are seeing a good short-term outperformance here in Bitcoin. So you have been stacking sats since basically August of this year. If you've been in SUI since August, you've been stacking sats considerably. So that's good. Let's go back to the US dollar chart. I'm hearing a lot about SUI. And so just know that, you know, if you were to take a position here, you're taking a position that comes with a lot of risk. We can totally come down to, you know, this last major structural support here. Let's look at these support/resistance flips that go back quite a ways, actually. This support/resistance flip, let's be a little bit more bullish, a little less bearish. And let's look at something like this. So if you're okay with taking a position, knowing that you might have to add to the position after it loses half of its value, then this is a good opportunity to buy. Currently, you're at resistance. You should not buy under resistance. You should only buy on breaks of resistance and pullbacks in a confirmed rally. Right now, we're at a macro resistance. I do not recommend that anybody buy underneath a resistance. So with that in mind, if you're really impatient and you want to front run a breakout because you just know it's going to break out, just know that you might need to allocate a certain amount of the position in the event that you get a really large retracement in excess of 30%. So just take that into consideration. All right, what else? All right, I'm not getting tickers, so let's take a look at the chart that shall not be named. I really want to see this come down to 3 million sats per ETH. This is the ETH BTC chart. The only reason I want to see it come down to 3 million sats per ETH is because I've been saying it would get to 3 million sats per ETH for over 2 years. And I would love to gloat. We're in a downtrend. We continue the downtrend. We actually have no signs of stopping here. Let's take a look at the volume. Yeah, volume is lethargic. Nobody is trading ETH. Nobody is investing in ETH. ETH is dying. And the kicker to it is the Ethereum Foundation keeps selling coins because their overhead is so high. They have an operating budget of $100 million a year in a foundation that's supposed to be a non-for-profit. So this is why Bitcoin is so much better than pretty much any other coin. There is no CEO of Bitcoin. There is no operating budget for Bitcoin. The notion that some Ethereum people take saying that ETH is a commodity is fucking laughable. If you think Ethereum is a commodity and you've done the mental gymnastics to convince yourself that a centrally controlled 70% pre-mined shitcoin that is controlled by a bunch of devs that have an overhead of $100 million a year is a commodity, you are a clown. You are a fucking clown. I don't care what label it gets attached by the financial markets. The financial markets took a position and they're trying to pump their bags. This is not a commodity. It is going to continue this downtrend until we get above this red line. You can set alarms, by the way, on TradingView. Just go to alarm, draw this downtrend line, draw this line, set an alarm when price crosses the trend line once per bar close, create, boom, you're done. Don't fucking look at ETH. Don't buy ETH. Don't do anything until you get that alert on your phone saying that this chart has crossed that line. Until it has crossed that line, just don't. Just don't. Aren't we under resistance with BTC? Would you also make that it's not a right time to buy? I think, okay, yeah, really good question. For new participants buying Bitcoin here, it's going to be dicey. It comes with a lot of risk. It's the same sort of thing, just if you're okay with the risk. The only difference being, Bitcoin did 370%, currently sitting at damn near the same as SUI. The only difference being is Bitcoin has actual intrinsic value, whereas every other altcoin out there, not a popular opinion, but every single other fucking altcoin has no value, because there's nothing that you can do with an altcoin that you can't do with Bitcoin. We are in a currency war for money. None of these other alts are better money. So there is a fundamental cohort of never sell individuals that come with Bitcoin that don't exist in altcoins. Altcoins are made from hype and paper hands, okay? Those people don't have conviction. If their altcoin retraces 50%, they're going to sell. When a Bitcoiner sees a retracement of 50%, they fucking stack harder. And that's a very fundamentally different aspect of Bitcoin. Does that mean that entries at this point don't come with risk? Of course they come with risk. We are at this all-time high level. We are under a resistance. We have the ability to retrace. I'm bullish. I don't think we will, but we absolutely can fall back at this point. And we haven't broken out yet. So in terms of safety of the position, in terms of conviction, you're far better off buying with a weekly close above 71,300 than you are buying now at 60,800. I buy no matter what the price is. I don't give a shit. I'm always buying Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every week. I buy Bitcoin every month. I'm always buying Bitcoin, and I don't care what the price is. That being said, for somebody who measures their risk in dollars, and for somebody who hasn't been accumulating Bitcoin for 5, 6, 7 years, and this is, a fresh position, this is a vulnerable fresh position. So you got to take that into consideration. You want to get a breakout. If we can break, if you want to front run this weekly close above 71,000 on Bitcoin, just get out of this channel. Not this channel. This channel. If we can get above this channel, that's a fabulously strong signal. You're not even that far. You are so much safer. You are so much safer buying here than you are here. That's all. And the same thing applies to SUI. You're not safe buying SUI where it is right now. You're safe buying SUI as it has confirmation of market trend changes. All right. Do we have an update on the unemployment rate? Nope. This looks a lot like M2, doesn't it? The structure of gold is really, really mirroring M2. Let's pull up M2 again. Look at that. pretty similar, especially recently. Look at how well that lines up. Yeah, fascinating. Anyways, I guess it doesn't line up everywhere, but more recently, you're getting a lot of similarities to M2 issuance. Trump pro Bitcoin after November 5th BTC moons. I think Bitcoin moons regardless of who wins. I don't take a political side one way or another, but here is the breakdown of my theory. If Trump wins, I think a lot of conservative people are going to make business easier in America, specifically in regards to cryptocurrency and blockchain projects. That is going to cause a bull market just intrinsically. Then there's the the talks of them adding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve to the treasury. I'll believe it when I see it, but the sentiment attached to that is going to be very, very positive. Now, if Kamala wins, holy fuck is that money printer going to be running? That printer is going to be on fire. We are going to go to war. We are going to fucking print into oblivion. I honestly, there's a part of me that thinks it's actually more bullish for Bitcoin for Kamala to win than Trump, because that money printer is going to be on fire. It is never going to print harder than with this communist, socialist bullshit, all in the context of endless war under the Democrats. And I can see a bullish case in both circumstances. Short-term bullish for Trump, long-term bullish for Kamala. But yeah, we're getting down to the final days now. I wonder how the market is going to react as we get closer and closer to the election. More and more uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty. We really need some sort of a move here in October. Maybe we don't get a green October here. We'd be looking at the monthly being red. Let's go to trading view is weird for the index chart. Let's go to BTC on Bitstamp. A little bit better. Yeah, we could get a red October, which is uncharacteristic. The market's always going to fake us out. Everybody said that September is a red month. We got a green month. And then October's always been a green month. Maybe we get a red October. So, but once the clarity comes back into the market, one way or another, there will be clarity. We have so much pent up energy right now. Once the clarity hits the market, boom, we're off to the races. Always buy the hottest coin that's been pumping. Without you, it'll be fine. Always buy the hottest coin. I will say, don't buy dino coins. Don't buy these dinosaur projects for sure. If you're going to dabble in the altcoin space, you're far better off dabbling with things that are new. People really get trapped in these altcoin cults that last multiple cycles. XRP, Cardano, VeChain, Stellar, like all of these coins are never coming back. They're never going to do what they've done in the past. It's like a half-life of performance. So the reason you buy an altcoin is so that it outperforms Bitcoin. The only time it outperforms Bitcoin is during the last 18 months of a cycle. And the projects are new. They're new and they're hyped up and they're well marketed and they're flush with cash and flush with VC investors. That's Kennedy that wants to cool stuff with BTC and blockchain. Well, he's not going to win. Trump doesn't understand blockchain. Fully agree with that. He's just a hype man. He's a promoter. He just wants votes. Lucky for us, Kennedy is more on the Trump side than the Dem side. The unfortunate reality of American politics is there's only ever two options. Yes, there are other people running, but let's be real. There's only ever two. It's Trump or Harris. That's it. Those are the only two options. Don't get hung up on Kennedy. It's not going to happen. It's never happened in the past. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's never happened in the past. So don't get too hung up on those less common candidates. All right, what else can we look at here? Let's take a look at a few alts. See what Doge is up to. Fuck all. Nothing. The king of memes. We're kind of having a little bit of a meme coin season, but it's not on those older projects. Kennedy suspended his campaign to join Trump. Okay. You see, I don't keep up with this stuff. I don't. I block it all. I block it all. But yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds like the puppet has friends. What else? Chainlink. Man, these coins are lethargic. They're just not doing anything. Oof. We're sitting bad. That was not a good call. Anybody who took the Chainlink call, that was a few months ago now. I haven't really checked back in on it. Down 44% since the call. Sitting on support. When you're in an altcoin, you have to go in with the mindset that you're going to lose half. You have to. You'll never be able to be a successful altcoin trader if you go heavy on an assumption. It doesn't matter how bullish the market is. You have to assume the market's going to reverse on you, and it's going to reverse hard, and you're going to lose half your position. If you enter in with that mindset, you're not going to put your full position in. Then when it does come down 50%, you have something to dollar cost average down. You have something to, increase your upside potential. But this technique is lost on many newer altcoin investors. Immutable X doing nothing, man, nothing. Let's just keep this really, really simple. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Keeps trending up. Somebody in the chat said you usually wait until Bitcoin dominance drops and then you sell everything. I'm going to explain how Bitcoin dominance works right now. This is altcoin season. It's so short. It happens all the time, but this is altcoin season. This right here, okay? This free fall. For context, this free fall, and my definition of altcoin season is it doesn't matter what you pick, it goes up. It doesn't matter what you pick, it goes up. That's my definition of altcoin season. You can have alts that perform, but it's random over here, it's random over there. The individual cycles are not correlated. You got meme coins pumping, then you got this coin pumping, that coin. It's like popcorn season. Everything is popping all over in different things randomly. That's not altcoin season to me. Altcoin season is fucking put on a blindfold, throw a dart at a board, and whatever it lands on will be a good investment. This was 19 bars, 133 days, less than 6 months. That is about, that's 5 months. 5 months of altcoin season. That's it. Okay. We will see a free fall here. Eventually we will see a free fall, but we're loading the gun. We're loading up. We're building momentum. We're building energy. And eventually you will get a free fall. And that free fall will be insane for altcoins. But be very careful to try and front run these things. They're very, very short moves. Everybody thinks altcoins rally all the time. They don't. Every 4 years, you get 4 months. Bitcoin's always doing something. You can always trade Bitcoin, which is why in the bear markets, so many people shuffle their portfolios over to Bitcoin because Bitcoin's always doing something. Alts, their time to really shine is so short. And I try to say this as much as I can on the channel because nobody is interested in altcoins, nobody's interested in Bitcoin. They're only interested in altcoins, and they behave in a way as though it's only altcoins that win and you can always find good investments in altcoins. It's tough. When you're in this environment, I'm not saying that there aren't random projects that do 100x. It happens all the time. How are you picking it? How are you finding those? If you don't know the founder, if you aren't in the inner circle, you are playing a dangerous game. The game becomes extremely easy when you're in this. And that's what I'm going to be yelling from the rooftops. When this occurs, it's going to be all altcoins all the time. But this hasn't occurred yet. When that occurs, it's fucking go time. And you are going to think you are a genius because everything you touch turns to gold. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. We'll probably get up to something like 60%, and then we'll fall back down to the base of 40%. If that, maybe we go to 44. And that's it. And that'll be the altcoin season, and it'll be a couple months. How high do you see Bitcoin's dominance going? 60%. We've been talking about 60% for a while. Other channels are also talking about 60%. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. As long as we keep trending up, we're going to keep trending up. How this is going to transition is Bitcoin is going to break out in a very large way. Bitcoin's going to break out hard, and the alts are not going to rally. That's how it's going to go down, okay? Stay with me. Listen. Bitcoin is going to break out really fucking hard, and alts are going to lag. They're not going to break out. And what that will look like on Bitcoin dominance is it's going to look like something like this. Bitcoin is just fucking ripping, and Bitcoin dominance is going very high. Then Bitcoin is going to stop ripping, and it's going to slow down for a short accumulation. During that time, alts are going to begin to start moving. And during that time is when you're going to see Bitcoin dominance begin to fall. And that will cause a mania frenzy for the free fall that you're looking back down to this 45 to 40% line in Bitcoin dominance. But first things first, that signal is going to be Bitcoin rallying, and the alts are going to get wrecked. Ethereum BTC is going to go to 3 million sats per ETH. All of the alt Bitcoin pairs are going to get hammered. Then the rotation happens. Do you think Bitcoin dominance will drop like it has in the past? Every cycle, more and more shitcoins come out, and few really outperform. 2017 altcoin season versus 2021 was much stronger. It was a lot more volatile. And the 2017 cycle was also very, very different. So if you weren't around to trade this, a lot of people don't realize that Tether didn't exist. I mean, Tether didn't exist for altcoins. It existed for Bitcoin, but you didn't have stablecoin pairs back then. When we were trading the markets back then, everything was the Bitcoin pair. Everything was the Bitcoin pair. So you had to sell Bitcoin to buy an altcoin. Things got different in the last cycle because stable coins were so prevalent. You didn't need to sell your Bitcoin position to take an altcoin position. But in terms of market dominance, as the market caps of these small coins expand, the comparative market cap ratio with Bitcoin is going to shrink. So it doesn't matter if we're getting really diluted with all of these other alts, because the comparative market cap of the total market compared to Bitcoin's market cap will be increasing. And there will absolutely be some insane winners out there. There will be some insane winners. Picking the really big winners, yeah, that's kind of like playing the lottery. Unless you're in on the game, unless you're in on the fucking scam, you don't really stand a chance, and it's just gambling. Which is why you got to kind of do a spray and pray approach with all these garbage altcoins. It's such a racket, guys. It's such a racket. There are big marketing firms and big VC investors that get token allocations, or they get word of newly minted ordinal projects or runes, or the Solana tokens or whatever. They know that the marketing is going to be huge. They get it's insider trading. This market's completely unregulated. You have the most prevalent insider trading market in the world. If you are not on the inside of this insider trading market, you're at a serious disadvantage. Imagine trying to run a 100-mile race and you got to start 50 miles back from everybody else. It's not fair. So just understand that. Sure, we like to have fun. We like to place bets. We like to, dabble in little things that we think we're getting into early. The only recommendation that I can make is just don't go heavy in that space. Don't go heavy, because Bitcoin is very consistent. The tortoise beat the hare. The slow and consistent wins the race. It really, truly does. I'm living proof that it does. So it is fun to play in the alts. Just don't let your altcoin position represent more than 50% of your Bitcoin position in a bull market. And in a bear market, your Bitcoin position should be 100 to 90% Bitcoin. What insider market are you in? I'm not. Okay, I got a tip. Now we're getting into the degen shit, okay? After that disclaimer and warning, there's a lot of crypto people in Bali. I was just at Token, you hear certain things, word on the street kind of stuff, okay? Nothing here is financial advice. I'm going off of rumors, okay? The rumor is, let's take a look at some runes here. Keep you on the edge of your seat. The word on the street, and we brought this to our community. A couple days ago. At 18 sats, we're damn near at 100% on this one. Another reason to join the Discord. The QR code is right there. Scan the QR code, get into the Discord. It's free, and you would have gotten this alpha ahead of time, ahead of everybody else. The Insider's Alpha is based Internet Panda. Now, again, I'm not an insider, okay? I'm not. I have connections. I know people with influence, but I'm still at a disadvantage from what the scam whales are doing, okay? But word on the street is based Internet Panda. Currently at a market cap of 8 million. We got 20 buys pending here. The one-day volume has consistently been at over $100,000 a day, which in a rune is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things is fucking nothing. Again, not financial advice. If you want to talk high risk, this is so high risk, guys. Please do not go hard on this. Everything that I've said leading up to showing you this has been saying be conservative, don't be greedy, be heavy in Bitcoin. Maintain that composure, okay? This is like a less than 1% allocation. Less than 1% of your trading portfolio goes to something like this. With that being said, this is the word on the street. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong. I could be listening to the wrong people. Tips are shit. They're nothing. They don't mean much. People give you tips all the time. It doesn't mean anything. But I got it on good authority here that based Internet Panda at least has a chance to get to, let's say, $100 million of market cap. So a multi-bagger from here. Not financial advice. Please, I take no liability for you buying a stupid internet fucking panda. I take none. Since we're on the topic of runes, let's take a look at Billion Dollar Cat. This is a similar project. I think we'll do similar things. They're currently at 76 million. So they're probably capping out pretty soon. I think this will, we'll see some serious selling once it gets to 100 mil. Those big psychological levels, $100 million market cap, whales are going to start selling. Getting close. This one's been moving. The runes have been moving. It's nice to see. It's refreshing to see. If you want kind of the blanket approach to which rune I think has a good chance of doing well, I think Dog is kind of like the rock solid choice because it was the first meme coin on runes. It has serious amounts of daily volume. The one problem with Dog is it was an airdrop. A ton of people have this coin and they don't care about it at all, and they'll sell it very, very easily. So airdrop tokens, everybody wants airdrops. Why the fuck do you want an airdrop? I have so many airdrops I'm just never gonna look at. I'm never even gonna try to sell. You're giving something away for free. There's no value. If you want to play the game of the greater fool, you got to get in early before all the fools. And this was a distribution of fools. But it does have the most hype. So when we are in the right market conditions, Bitcoin dominance falling to the downside, this could be one that definitely sees higher prices in terms of sats. Currently at 6 sats per dog. What are some other ones that are out there? Pups World Peace. The runes have finally been getting a little bit of attention. Yeah, Pups World Peace. Yeah. This one's probably going to go to 500 million market cap. See what I mean, though? It got up past 100 mil and then huge dump. Huge dump. 100 mils when people start taking profits. Did a 50% dump when it got up to approximately 170 mil market cap. Can it break out to the next phase up? These are too late to buy, in my opinion. Dick thickness. Oh my God. Market cap 300,000. As it should be. Let's go to runes. Let's go volume. Donald Trump. Cat in the sats. Cats in the sats. So many cats this cycle, man. It was all about dogs last cycle. It's all about cats this cycle. Wanko Manko. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. You guys can have a play around on that. magiceden.io/runes. How and when did you get into finance and trading? So I come from a family of finance. I come from a divorced family where both my father and my stepfather are in the traditional financial markets. They taught me analysis, how to trade. Yeah, I come from traditional financial background. Now, I've never worked in traditional finance, but I have a lot of, mentors. People who laugh at what I'm doing, but, they know their technicals. They understand all that shit. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up here. How long we've been rocking? We've been rocking and rolling for about an hour. So yeah, let's move over to just chatting. Thank you all for joining into the stream. I'm going to start doing more and more content, especially if Bitcoin gets a bull market. I would like to do these things daily. So do subscribe, hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps to rank these videos higher so that more people can find them. Most of you are already in the Discord, so thank you for being a community member. Thank you for being in the Discord, hanging out and talking shop with all of the coins and shit that we're talking about in there. And if you aren't already in the Discord, get into the Discord, have a look around. And if you want a VIP membership, they are free. You just have to sign up with one of the below affiliate links. And quick little update on Blowfin. Blowfin integration. I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time for Blowfin to launch. we're close. And I mean it like very, very close, like hours to a day close to Blowfin coming online. So I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that. And thank you all for joining in. Until next time, please trade safe. It is